Good day. Our group is formed by Checo, Aldo, Sofia, and me, Emma, and today we are going to present about the UK's policies on sustainable development, where we are going to talk about the general development in environmental and social areas.
The objectives that the United Kingdom has on the topic of sustainable development are the following: social progress, which recognizes the needs of everyone; effective protection of the environment; prudent use of natural resources; and lastly, the upkeep of high and stable levels of economic growth and employment.
And their strategies to achieve the goals are identifying priority areas for action and indicators and targets to measure progress, against which the government will expect to be judged. It sets out action that the government has already taken and further initiatives that are planned, and highlights what others can do. The government will use the strategy as a framework to guide its policies. It will encourage also others to do the same.
Where the UK Sustainable Development Strategy is a policy that recognizes that everybody has the right to a healthy, clean, and safe environment. This will be achieved by reducing pollution, poverty, poor housing, and unemployment, also considering climate change as the main issue. They also mention that the use of non-renewable resources such as fossil fuels should not be stopped overnight, but they must be used efficiently, and the development of alternatives should be used to help phase them out. Finally, in order that everybody can be respected and have the right to a good standard of living with better job opportunities, and for this they will need a workforce equipped with suitable skills and education within a framework to support them.
As of today, the progress that they have been able to achieve is high-quality public health service, high standard of education, increasement in employment with less gender disparity as well as more employed people with disabilities, and strong legislation towards equality.
Okay. And now we're going to open a debate for 3 to 5 minutes for everyone who wants to participate on giving an opinion about the United States strategies that we saw in the previous part about the sustainable development, or any other personal ideas about the policy's performance will be accepted. So we open the debate right now. Who wants to participate first?
So I have a critic about how the sustainable development strategy will actually function, because it might have really good goals, but to what point is it really efficient? And maybe the United Nations pressures countries to actually do these things, but some others don't have like the capability to make something about it. So in order to to actually make this change and benefit Earth, do we really have to do them all, um, or is it just like a dream? Because to be honest, we don't have set uh, we don't have set an a time to actually make them become real, because dreams with deadlines are goals. So in this part of the strategy, it doesn't says it, and some policies are just dreamy about it, but don't actually make something so that companies can lead, so that the government can actually lead companies to make them. They need more incentives.
I can comment a bit on this and kind of answer like to your question, to what extent is the strategy being effective? And as I mentioned before, like the things where we have seen areas of improvement are public health, education, employment, and a lot of focus on legislation towards gender equality overall, not just gender equality. But even though we have seen improvements on this, one of the most, well, in my opinion, the most important, which is climate and environment progress, they say that they have like targeted it and attacked it, but they really haven't achieved much. And we like this can be seen through the data and the CO2 emissions, like what the country is producing in contamination. So to answer your question, I feel like the policies have been successful to a medium point. They have achieved improvement in like half of the areas that the objective want to improve, but they still have a long way to go.
I wanted to say that I think that what you were saying is very dangerous because of how the UK influences other countries, not only with what they say they have to do, but also with like being a role model because um, they are a really big part of the world and industrialization and globalization. And for example, when they separated from, is it Europe or when Brexit happened, and it affected a lot of countries because of all the treaties and whatever. I think that not being exact with what they plan, what you are saying, can affect a lot globally.
I agree completely with you, Sophia, because I feel like but also I agree with Sergio and Aldo because they're such a big country that influences everyone. They should be able to use their sources and like their resources and other things like that they have to like make better their like sustainable make better their development. I think they have the like opportunity to like achieve more than they achieved right now, but also at the same time they're not just always paying attention on their country. Also they're like a global influencer, and that's why it's hard for them to like develop like faster than others. But yeah, at the same time they still have to concentrate more on their issues than others, because we could like see that their strategies or policies are not strong enough to make happen like the goals, like to achieve the goals they have like um established. Thank you.
Based on what we discussed, we can safely say that the UK has achieved some progress, but it still has a lot of areas where it can improve, especially on environmental issues. And this is important as it is a role model for other countries.